Alberta says shoot to protect. Alberta just pulled the trigger on Ottawa. And your right to defend your home might change overnight. If you have got a door, a lock, and a family, you need to hear this because this is not about politics. It's about whether Canada still lets you protect your family from a home invader or whether you become the criminal for doing so. Danielle Smith publicly said, under the Sovereignty Act, Alberta will table a motion so provincial and municipal police agencies won't enforce federal gun seizure programs and won't prosecute homeowners defending their homes from intruders.
Now, the Sovereignty Act motion will also make it clear that these agencies will not enforce or prosecute Albertans defending their homes and families from intruders. I got a little tip for low-life criminals out there. If you don't want to get shot, don't break into someone's house. It's really that simple, isn't it? It really is.
That's huge because for decades, Canada's self-defense law and firearms law has meant if you shoot someone, even an intruder, you still risk charges. If Alberta pulls this off, it's not just politics. It's a provincial challenge to Ottawa's authority over gun control and criminal law. Right now, under federal law, Canadians do have the right to defend themselves and their property under self-defense and defense of property provisions. But whether it was reasonable force, especially lethal force, depends on a court's assessment threat level. Whether police could have been called instead. There is no blanket castle doctrine, no guarantee you can shoot an intruder and walk away clean. Translation: Canada's law leans on caution, not instant permission. Danielle Smith announced Alberta will use the Sovereignty Act to push a castle law motion. According to her plan, provincial and municipal police will be ordered not to enforce federal gun seizure and control measures in Alberta. If a homeowner defends their home from intruders, provincial level charges or enforcement, at least by local policing, won't happen. It's basically Ottawa hands off Alberta's homes. That's a power move, not a legal guarantee. But in a province where police are mostly provincial or municipal, it could change how home defense is policed day to day. Quick pit stop. Please hit like and subscribe if you like the content that I made. And join the membership or buy me a coffee if you want to help me keep this channel independent. Thank you. Now back to our topic. If Alberta succeeds, homeowners might feel freer to defend their homes with firearms if they legally have them, without fear of immediate local prosecution. Does that mean Smith might ease up the restrictions on carrying firearms in future? It sends a message to Ottawa. If you keep pushing gun control or seizure programs, we won't help enforce them. It triggers a constitutional test. Can a province refuse to enforce parts of federal criminal law inside its borders? That fight could end up in court. For a province built on energy, resources, rugged independence, this feels like more than lawmaking. It's we are Alberta, we protect ourselves. So what are the risks and why this could blow up in her face? Because hold on, nothing is guaranteed. Canada still has federal laws. Even if provincial cops stand down, federal agencies, if involved, or federal courts could still act and supersede the provincial law. Shooting an intruder still must meet reasonable force. Just being an intruder does not automatically make lethal force legal in Canada. If someone misuses this castle law shield, the backlash, legal, social, could be harsh. We are not America. Canada's laws are tighter. So, this could spark lawsuits, constitutional court cases, and big public debate. So, here is what this means for you and for Canada as a whole. If you live in Alberta, the rules of engagement might shift because they are not written in stone. You might see local police hesitate to enforce certain gun-related charges. You might feel safer or you might feel more uncertain, depending on how this plays out in courtrooms and communities. For Canada, it's a test of whether a province can use the Sovereignty Act as a real shield against federal law. It could embolden other provinces to try the same, creating a patchwork of enforcement standards across Canada. It raises the big question: how stable is national unity if provinces start picking and choosing which federal laws to honor? This is not just about gun rights, it's about power, about identity, about who actually runs Canada, Ottawa or the provinces. Here is the bottom line. If Alberta's motion passes, we are not entering a Wild West fantasy. We are entering a legal experiment, one that could change Canada's balance of power permanently. If it fails, this becomes a political press stunt. If it succeeds, Canada could see its first real challenge to federal gun law enforcement since the charter was written. Either way, this matters deeply because real people, not politicians, will pay the price. So, you tell me, Canada, do you think criminals should be the only ones afraid to break in? Or should homeowners be the ones trembling every time the door creaks at night? Drop your thoughts below and spread this video far because this is not just for Alberta. This is for every Canadian who values safety, freedom, and common sense. Stay sharp, stay Canadian, and stay ready. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.